Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network.
Old Vivek there, this is the guy who wants to give every voter under 25 a civics test that he plainly couldn't pass.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Charlie, he's such a charlatan. I was saying it's like an AI, make me a mini Trump but with a brown tint so we can say Republicans aren't racist. I mean, he's just a troll. Of course, everything he's saying now is the exact opposite of his book because he's just trying to.
Yesterday, he was telling some white folks in Iowa that he'd never run into a white supremacist in his life.
Oh, jeez.
And he's not sure white supremacy exists. Read the room, dude.
Yeah,
it existed pretty seriously in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I mean, and what do you call it? The book, he does disparage Donald Trump a lot. Now he's on stage going, he's the best president ever of my lifetime. Blah blah blah. He just said if he wins the election, he would ask Trump to serve as his advisor and mentor. He said, "I want to build on the foundation Trump laid. I don't want to relearn the same lessons. I want to pick up where he left off and taking on the administrative state." I mean, okay. More thoughts on this guy? Your Vivek thoughts?
I mean, the whole notion that the vice president, as president of the Senate, has any real power, it's largely an honorary title, and he gets to preside and cast the tie-breaking vote on stuff. Right. That's it.
Yeah.
He doesn't get to ram through legislation.
Yeah. So he went on to say Trump had been duped by his own White House advisors who warned against firing swaths of federal employees. Read the law, he said. Turns out those civil service protections only apply to individual firings, not to mass layoffs. Mass layoffs are absolutely what I will bring to the D.C. bureaucracy. Okay.
No. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. You are protected. You don't lose your civil service protection because the 5 other guys who work in your department got laid off too.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah. So, Charlie, you were there, right, at the debate?
I was there. I was in Milwaukee. I'm always, energized by being in that great city by the Great Lake. Yes.
But he obviously did well. He did well in the room, right? You could hear it. That it's just because that's what it's like. He's a right-wing talking point that's been, what did Chris Christie say? Generated by chatbot or something.
Yeah. It was embarrassing. There wasn't a president on that stage.
Yeah.
I mean, it was humiliating to all of them that the audience was clearly with the guy that wasn't there.
Yeah.
And
so obviously. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, so obviously with this ruling yesterday, J.D. Vance tweeted, straight up election interference, no other way to put it, about Judge, who was this, another right-winger, said Judge Chutkan has set Trump's trial date in the Biden DOJ sham prosecution against him to March 2nd, which is the day before Super Tuesday. I think Judge Chutkan had the perfect response to that. Look, pal, I don't care about your political schedule, right?
Any more than I'd care about an outfielder who is fighting a DUI,
right?
Yeah,
you might have to miss the 3-game set with the Brewers because you have to be in court.
Yeah, right. She said, while Mr. Trump has the right for time to prepare, the public has a right to a prompt and efficient resolution of this matter. She said, my primary concern here, as in every case, is in the interest of justice, and I've balanced the defendant's right to adequately prepare, period. Right?
Right. I mean, that's fairly straightforward. And it's something, I think it's something everybody in the world understands. I mean, anybody who's had any dealings with the courts, either in a civil or criminal manner, understands that, if they give you a trial date, you show up. Right. Unless you've got an awfully good reason not to, and Super Tuesday is not the reason.
Right. Well, and I keep saying, over and over, but this whole thing, he obviously, put his campaign in the middle of his indictments, not the other way around. The indictments were already started. These cases.
Well, if there weren't any indictments, he probably wouldn't even be running.
Right. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, his campaign is basically an excuse. Excuse to widen his defense team.
Right. So let's talk about the popcorn times to come, shall we? This story, expect multiple cases of Trump allies flipping on him, according to a former White House official. She said she expects to see former aides swept up in the four indictments turn on him. She's a former White House deputy press secretary, said a Mar-a-Lago employee who recently changed his testimony after swapping attorneys is a preview of things to come. I think we're going to see that in multiple cases. Obviously, the one you referenced, the documents case, we suspect. I think there's a name out there of someone who they think flipped, but I think it's the right call because at the end of the day, Donald Trump demands loyalty from everybody, but gives loyalty to no one. He would be so quick to throw any of these people under the bus. So I think this is crucial. I mean, I think them severing the cases, right, is also going to lead to more of that, don't you think?
Well, I think sooner or later, and I'm amazed it hasn't happened yet. Sooner or later, self-preservation takes over.
Yeah. Right.
People don't want to go to prison, okay? And they certainly don't want to go to prison in an effort to keep that guy out.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I think sooner or later you're going to see a lot of low level running to the lifeboats.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Charlie, you wrote a piece on Jacksonville.
And as you say, Stephanie, quite eloquently, every day, big bag of rats.
Yes, fight. You're all equally awful. You wrote a piece about Jacksonville. You just said the Jacksonville Dollar General shooting is a reminder that our illusions are killing us. Mm-hmm. You just said maybe we can talk about this nation's insane attraction to its firearms now. There are too many damn guns in this country, too many damn ways, too many damn people can get their hands on them. I mean, someone said it yesterday. What do we have, 400 million guns, Charlie? When they keep saying more guns is the answer, how many is the number that'll make us safer?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many. I don't know if there's a magic number at which point this whole problem will turn around to our advantage. We've got 600 million guns, so now we're safe. And no one will show up at bargain stores, looking to kill black people.
Yeah. I saw that.
The primary illusion that I'm talking about in that story, an illusion, by the way, as anyone who's, ever been to cover the Iowa caucuses knows. But
Right.
Yeah. Well, also, I know this. You had just reiterated this detail. The shooter was the subject of a 2017 law enforcement call under the state's Baker Act, which allows people to be involuntarily detained, subject to examination for up to 72 hours during a mental health crisis. So I guess what the sheriff said, if there's a Baker Act situation, they're prohibited from getting guns. We don't know if the Baker Act was recorded properly or was considered a full Baker Act. I guess the shooter was 15 at the time, was held for 72 hours and then released.
Yeah.
So
we talk about red flag laws. This Baker Act seems to be, kind of rudimentary red flag law.
Yeah.
Except no one was interested in enforcing it.
Yeah. You said, I just thought the way you said it, you said we really can't get out of our own way on these things, just as we never as a society have gotten out of our own way on the subject of white supremacy and the violence inherent in it. We can't get out of our own way because we're so addicted to the illusion of our national goodness that right now there's a serious effort by one of our political parties to boulderdize the teaching of history in our schools. That's what I said Monday. This is why you teach black history. You said Florida, it should be noted, is ground zero of this effort. Its current governor, DeSantis, sees the boulderized history as his train to glory. He bragged about it at the Republican debate last Wednesday as our newest mass murderer was back in Florida, his brain on fire and his guns oiled and ready. And just the way you end, our illusions are killing us one at a time or in great numbers over and over again. We've armed them again and again, placed them in body armor, set them off at war against ourselves, embodied by the vicious who themselves are activated by the amoral and the ambitious. Our illusions are in full rebellion again, and white supremacy is the barbarian leader of them all. It's become a daily thing watching these kids jump out of windows in North Carolina. That's how we live.
That's incredible. That's an incredible piece of video.
Yeah.
It reminded me of nothing more than the kids running out the back door at Columbine.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, having to jump out of I don't know what story windows. I guess it was a teacher she was shot and killed.
Looked like the second story. Looked like the second story. Yeah.
Yeah, and in that case, it looks like the janitors shut down. I don't know which. I can't remember which shooting now. I think it was that. Like they shut down all the locked all the doors, risked their own lives. To make sure that none of the kids got shot. But it's just, again, when we keep saying every press conference, this isn't who we are. No, this is exactly who we are until we do something different.
That's what, and that's the illusion.
Right. Right.
That's the perfect statement of the dangerous illusion. This isn't who we are. Yeah, unfortunately it is. And we had 3 shootings in the United States the day of the Jacksonville shooting, including one up here.
Yeah.
We had a Caribbean Day parade in Dorchester, and 2 or 3 people got shot. Yeah. We had a kid get shot to death at a football game in Oklahoma.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. It's almost in every community. Someone says, this isn't who we are in fill in the blank, Jacksonville, whatever. And the fact is, you're right, Charlie, it's becoming who we are everywhere. I was saying this reminded me of, Tops Supermarket in Lockport is where I shopped my whole life, so the racist Tops killing, that it brought that back to me. This idiot with the swastikas on his gun and the racist manifesto and the exact same.
Well, the guy I'd like to meet is the security guard at the college.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because as bad as it was, at the Dollar General, it could have been a lot worse if this guy had gotten onto the quad or something at that college.
Yeah, and that's why he, obviously went to the store. And God, heartbreaking, the Uber driver, the lady that was Uber driver, her daughter talking about. Here she has just dropped someone off, sitting there in her car, and so it's just story after story after story like that, right?
Pretty much. This is you start wincing when we come up to a weekend.
Yeah. No, exactly.
This has been a lot of fun.
This was fun. Wow, this was a laugh riot.
Thanks for the laughs, Charlie.
Boost your immunity now with Tapiro, the new high-potency, great-tasting elderberry gummies infused with zinc and vitamin C. Tapiro is available exclusively at healthpowerusa.com. Boost your immunity. Order your supply of Tapiro now at healthpowerusa.com.